As you can see, mine doesn't want to roll, so I'm just gonna hit this motor a little bit until we go. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I am back at it again, working on my wife's 2006 Nissan Xterra, and in today's video I'm going to be replacing the window motor on the driver's side door because the window will go down slowly, but it struggles to come back up. So let me get you guys set up and we'll start the video. Alright you guys, so the first thing we want to do to remove this window motor and regulator is take off the door panel. On this Xterra, there's 3 pieces that you need to remove before you can actually take off the whole door panel itself. We have this corner piece, we have this piece with all the buttons, and then we have these little covers right here behind the handle. Super simple to take off. You just need a screwdriver and carefully pry off these plastic pieces. Same thing with these other 2 pieces. Alright, let's start off with removing these back covers. You can pretty much just take a screwdriver in here, carefully pry these out. Shouldn't be too difficult. So there's one. Careful not to break the tabs. And what this is going to do is it's going to expose this 10mm screw, which we'll have to remove later to remove the whole door panel. Up next, let's pry off this panel. Alright, so we actually need to remove the buttons, and in order to do so we gotta play with this little button here and pull out at the same time. I may have to do this off camera. Okay, last but not least, gotta remove this little panel here. Super careful not to scratch or break any of these tabs. Alright, so from there's 3 10mm screws which we need to remove. There's this guy back here, there's one right here, and then we have this last one over here. And then once we get these removed, we can go ahead and pry off the door panel. Alright, so before we start prying this door panel off, I just wanted to point out that there's a notch down here. Right here. Which you can use as leverage to get started, and then you can just pry off all of these clips all the way around. Basically just going from the bottom up to the top. Alright you guys, so the next step is to remove this foam panel, which is held on by some butyl tape. But as you guys can see here, it looks like there's this bracket which is screwed on, which may need to come off before we can actually take this piece off. So let me go ahead and do that. carefully without breaking this actual foam, I'm going to go ahead and take off this cover. Looks like right here I missed some screws in this little bracket that needs to come off. Alright, there's that piece removed. Alright guys, so from here you do need to reattach your switches because we're going to roll down this window down to where the window mounting bolts kind of are shown here. Thankfully my window still rolls down, it just won't roll back up, so let me go ahead and roll it down. As you can see, mine doesn't want to roll, so I'm just going to hit this motor a little bit until it goes. Alright, and this is exactly kind of where we wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and take those screws off. Alright you guys, so before we actually take those screws off, I'm going to go ahead and set this kind of here. That way it'll hold the window in place. Because once I take off those bolts, that window's just going to want to fall all the way down completely. Alright, we have the suction cup nicely securing the window. And now it's time to remove these bolts. Alright, so as you guys can see, I dropped one into the window, but it shouldn't be too bad to get. Just take a little magnet and grab that out real quick. Alright you guys, so we're at the final stretch of this. Here we need to unplug this connector from the harness to the window motor. Then there are 3 bolts that secure the window motor to the door. And then there's 4 more, 2 up here and then 2 down here, which secure the rail to the door. Once we have this all unbolted, we're going to go ahead and maneuver this piece out through this opening right here, and we'll replace the new one the same way. Alright guys, so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this guy out. I think I'm going to go ahead and raise the window all the way up and then try and see if that'll give me enough room to wiggle this thing out. Looks like that did the trick. Alright guys, here's the new replacement part. Gotta open this up and we're gonna go ahead and snake it through that same opening as we took out the old one. And hopefully this should slide in pretty easily. Alright, just a quick note from looking at this versus looking at the old one. Looks like this guy's gonna slide in something like that, and I know this because there's these clips right here where the motor actually hangs on to the door, and then we can go ahead and screw it on. Alright you guys, next step is to go ahead and install your, connect your window motor. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lower down the window regulator down to this level so we can actually hook up the window back to the regulator. And from there, it's just reversal of disassembly. Alright, so let's drop this down. Alright guys, in this case, raise it up. Alright, so we can see right here that the window is meeting the regulator, so now it's just time to screw the screws back in. Alright you guys, so we have everything put back together essentially. It looks like this window motor is working perfectly. And even the automatic roll down works, so that's nice. So now, last step is to just put everything back together, and that's going to be the same as removal, just in reverse order. Okay you guys, so actually before we go ahead and reassemble everything and put everything back together, one thing I noticed is that this connector, there's a lot of slack, whereas the OEM one didn't. I was thinking about just pushing this back in, but I don't want it to get caught with the window or something that's moving in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and zip tie it kind of like on the inside, something like this. That way, you know, we can put everything back together the way it was, or as close as the way it was, and nothing will get caught. All right, there we go. Nice and ready to go. Let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Alright you guys, so there you have it. Everything is put back together nicely. The window rolls up and down. The auto roll down feature works nicely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.